Alright, so you might be wondering why this video isn't finding the worst DISVENTURE CAMP episode. Well, to be honest, that video wouldn't be as interesting as it only had like 3 options, which were pretty obvious, along with the fact that Aunt Country just hit 300,000 subscribers around the time of making the script. So instead, I decided to do a more so positive video, which would be more interesting. By the way, I will be working on the video on Rhea very, very soon. I'm about to start scripting that in like a day or two, so yeah, stay tuned. Anyways, onto the video. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over what is the best DISVENTURE CAMP episode overall. Now before this video starts, a couple disclaimers. 1, this video is pure in my opinion, so if you disagree with me, that's completely fine. And all background footage is not owned by me, but instead owned by the Audition cartoons creators of this DISVENTURE CAMP. And with that being said, onto the video. So I'm going to be basing this off of 2 episodes out of the entire series, which I think are the best. Those being Season 1, Episode 9, and Season 3, Episode 6. So I'm going to be reviewing each episode in order, then starting which one is the best in my opinion. Starting off with Episode 9 of Season 1. Season 1, Episode 9 is easily the best episode of Season 1, and I love it a lot. I'm just going to be going over all the good parts of this episode first. The interactions here are all perfect. The start of the episode has some really good interactions with the villains, which sort of humanizes them in a way, but DISVENTURE CAMP has a pretty good job at doing. For all the 3 villains, and the main plotline of this episode, being Tom and Jake, was handled really, really well, and it was easily the best episode where these 2 have the focus. And the other interactions were really good, such as Elia and Miriam. Even though we don't really get to see these 2 too much this episode, the scene at the start was really nice, and I feel like we should have got more of them. And the challenge is easily my favorite challenge out of the entire show. I am an unapologetic lover of any horror movie challenge, especially zombie themes, which is why some of my favorite episodes from TDR are horror themed. But enough of the off-topicness, this challenge is probably one of the best takes on a horror themed challenge in this type of genre. As it's simple, but also pretty interesting, and I like how they try to make it a little bit more believable. Instead of having it take place on one night like they did in Season 2, it seems to the contestant that it takes place over multiple months, but technically it does take place in one night, but still allows it to be expanded on a little bit more and makes it a little bit more realistic. And they use that to expand on it a bit more, and a lot of the scenes in the episode that were challenge based were really good, such as Gret and Fiore at the end, Miriam and Jake scenes, which kind of made me tear up a little bit, and the other scenes between Tom and Jake, and just in general. Those scenes were really, really good and some of the best action in this show so far. And this episode's elimination was perfect wrapping up Gret's character. And even though I'm a pretty big fan of Gret in Season 1, this was a perfect time for her to go, and the way they did it was really, really funny. Overall, I can't really say anything bad about this episode, and it's easily the best out of Season 1. Anyways, onto Episode 6 of DISVENTURE CAMP All-Stars. This episode is really, really good, and it's mostly because of the challenge, but even parts of the episode that aren't challenge-related are still amazing. This episode is easily the best episode of All-Stars, in my opinion, and it's not even close. The interactions in this episode are pretty good, as pretty much every single character has an interaction with somebody. Like Ali and Ashley have a really nice dynamic, and Yul and Emily's scenes at the start were really funny and interesting. Focus on the teams, especially the Scion team at the start, were really, really. And I liked how they dedicated more time to interactions this challenge at the start, as the first 8 minutes are dedicated towards the team interactions. Even then in the challenge, we still have some pretty cool interactions like Ali and Jake, Flora and Marcus, Connor and Alec, and etc. And the challenge itself is really good. All the songs in here are amazing and sound great, especially the Yellow Team's performance and the Science Team's performance, which piggyback is easily my favorite out of the 3 due to the amazing voice acting and vocals. Even then, the other songs are still really, really good. I do feel like we should have seen a little bit more planning in between the episode, but I can't really complain as they were on a bit of a tight budget during making this episode, so they probably couldn't afford to expand a bit more on it. And the challenge itself kind of had a twist, as most people predicted that the Science team would lose, but in reality it was the Yellow team. That was a pretty good twist and ended up helping the elimination to keep it suspense by making it seem like there was a chance that it could be Yul, but also a chance that it could be Connor. Now about the elimination, even though it seemed kind of bad at the start, it was actually really well written with episode 11 perspective and hindsight. As a build up Connor coming back, and while it was a sad elimination, it did make sense, as I don't really think that they should have flipped on the villains alliance. Rhea did make a good point there, but also keeping Connor could have been useful, as it would make it a 3v2 or 1 instead of a 2v2. Overall, I could go on about this episode more, but I think it was a bit obvious why this episode is really good. Now, with that being said, between these episodes, which is better? Well, I think, in my opinion, Season 1, Episode 9 is better, mostly because I like the challenge more. Interactions were done a lot better. Also, overall, this is one of the few episodes in DISVENTURE Camp where every single character was amazing, or very close to being amazing. Most of the characters in Episode 6, while they are good, there's some outliers of them just being terrible, like Rhea and others, especially Ellie. Anyways, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss another video from me. VidIQ says that I will hit 2K on the July 29th of 2044, so you want to support the channel and help speed up the process. That would help out a ton. Enjoy my Discord servers. Anyway, with that being said for me, I'll catch you all in the next video tomorrow. Peace!